the main jail. He, for lack of a better term, appears to be homeless without funds to appoint a lawyer. Mr. Landeray has offered time served, so we've had a chance to speak to the parties. If the court would be so inclined to.
Can I see Mr. Tony Ehrlich, please? Tony Ehrlich, step forward, please. Hey, sir. I understand from Mr. Atria in my courtroom, he's had a chance to speak with you, and that you want to resolve your case today by pleading no contest. Is that correct?
Did you read it? Not yet. I'm opening up.
Sir.
Okay, you understand, sir? You want to plead no contest? Case will be over with today. You're not going to have your day in court. It's wrapped up right now. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Okay, I'll accept that or withhold adjudication. I'll appoint Mr. McLawrence, all right?
I'll give you the order, and I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Now see Matthew Killinger.
Down the middle, out the door, sir.
Hi, Mr. Killinger. You're charged with solicitation in the roadway Hammondville Road. I guess this is a Pompano case, right? So this is handled by
It's not Fort Lauderdale, Your Honor.
Right.
Mr. Shape was here. I believe he's returning.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Initial here, initial here.
Basically, yeah. Sir, have a seat. We'll call you back, Killinger. I'm going to wait for the parties to show up, all right? Thank you.
Here.
Okay.
Here.
Hey, come on.
Are you calling now? I don't have
Just give us a moment. What's the name of the defendant?
Joseph Terruso, Terruso.
Have both you raise your right hand and swear or affirm to tell the truth, the truth, and nothing but the truth. And will you state your name?
Pamela Coleman, Broward Sheriff's Office, pretrial.
Ms. Coleman.
Hi, Judge. How are you?
Gosh, some years.
You're aging us.
Long time.
You're aging us now.
Okay, so what's your name?
Joseph Terruso.
No, don't name
What? What? I don't know. What's going on?
Remember this now. Okay. Now, ma'am, apparently there's some type of issue, right?
There was. No, I think we've resolved the biggest issue was to get the defendant out of custody, Your Honor.
Right.
The issue apparently was at the time of the incident, it appeared that defendant and the victim were both homeless, living out of a vehicle.
Right.
We were fortunate enough to have the defendant live with his boss who posted the bond. That wasn't an issue. The issue was the 500-foot exclusion zone with the victim who was known to be homeless. Well, fortunately, she got in touch with me this morning. She called me and she was able to produce an address.
Okay.
But it's not a permanent, stable address. She's really in between places. So what we wanted to do, Your Honor, he already got hooked up on the monitor, got assigned an officer. What we want to do, if you would consider leaving the no contact order, but just deleting the 500-foot exclusion, so there would be no issues in the future in case she were homeless or anything.
Right, okay, go ahead.
Based on his prior record, I would be opposing that. If there comes a time where a pretrial can no longer verify where the victim lives, then they can certainly come to the court and ask the court to consider that. But at this time, if they do have an address for her, I would be asking that it be kept in place.
I wanted to, on the record, Your Honor, that usually when there's a blanket, just a no contact order, we automatically default the GPS monitoring system to 200 to 300 feet, so there will be literally a zone around the victim's home.
Right.
So we're just basically just shrinking the zone. That's all we're doing.
Well, let me ask you this, why would you need to shrink it? Why wouldn't you just leave it at 500?
Well, because if she, in order, when Your Honor specifies the footage,
Right.
we have to have contact with the victim. If it's a no contact, we can make all attempts to reach the victim, but we don't necessarily speak to the victim at all times when just a no contact order is placed.
Right.
Because of that 500 foot, we have to speak to the victim. So if the victim were to move, or if we were to get information, which is more than likely in this case, that she'd be homeless, you know, that would, at that time, it would pose a problem because we had that 500 foot zone.
Trying to,
I know,
this
Your
out.
Honor.
so if she's not homeless, it's 500 feet, but if she's homeless, it shrinks down to 200 feet.
Well, no. If she's homeless, but if Your Honor deletes the 500 foot zone, when we map it
Right.
at our current address, we'll automatically default to like 200-300 feet. It won't be 500 feet, but if she were to move, it wouldn't be an issue with the.
Okay, I understand the end result of what you want to do. I frankly don't understand why it doesn't logically make sense
I
what
know.
I'm hearing, but that being said, State, do you have a problem if it's 200 or 300?
Your Honor, I would, frankly, at this point, I would want as much distance as possible. If he didn't have, and to make a record, he's been to prison for aggravated stalking. After that, he's been convicted of stalking. If he didn't have prior convictions for obviously not listening to a judge tell him to stay away from someone, and then continue to insist and not just go around them, but to harass and torment based on the nature of those offenses, I wouldn't have a problem. But because of that, I think the most stringent conditions that the court can
Make it
set.
300 feet. Can you do that?
Well, if Your Honor specifies any footage, it could. Well, he's out, so I would just. But if Your Honor just says no contact, we'll automatically default to 300 feet anyways.
Okay, no contact. How's that?
Just straight no contact,
Straight
delete the
no
500
contact,
foot zone.
right.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Okay.
All right, have a seat. Let me get-
Oh boy. Where's Mr. Callahan? Hey. There he is. You ready to go, Mr. Callahan?
Yeah, sure.
Great. You need more time?
2 seconds.
Got it. No problem.
Talking to the
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Hurley. I'm your judge this afternoon. We're in first appearance court. Today is the day the court determines whether or not there's probable cause. We're not here to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. It's not for today. I tell you that because you don't need to tell us about your case. You don't need to explain yourself, defend yourself, make an excuse, or talk about any issues that came up during your arrest. It's not for today. Save those matters for your attorney in a private meeting. Understand you have the constitutional right to remain silent. Utilize that right at all times, but if you give up the right to remain silent, whatever you say can and will be used against you. Everything today is being recorded, and also if you have a private attorney, when you called up, let me know who that is. We will contact your attorney and let them know that you're in court today. Now, let me ask, who back here is with Mr. Callahan? Somebody? No? Okay, got it. Now, ma'am, right here in that row, 2 women, which case are you here on?
Akeisha Martin.
What is that?
Akeisha Martin.
Okay, come on up.
President, the main judge.
Okay. Side by side, there you go. Okay. Ms. Martin, you've been charged with domestic battery. The court finds probable cause. State, is there a criminal record on Ms. Martin? Can I have both of you raise your right hands for me?
Right.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, all truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Put your hands down. Ma'am, right here, tell me your name.
Modestine Spencer.
How do you know Miss Martin?
She's my niece.
Thank you for coming to court. Your name, ma'am.
Mian Martin.
And how do you know Miss Keisha Martin?
She's my daughter.
Thank you for coming to court.
You're welcome.
So, now,
No,
criminal record?
no, Judge.
No criminal record. Did you have a chance to speak with the alleged victim, sir?
Your Honor, apparently our office had contact with the alleged victim. He's apparently in fear.
He's actually in fear of.
Okay. Did he say specifically who in her family he was in fear of?
He said almost everybody, but he's getting threats that there are people being called in to deal with him.
Okay. Well, it's alleged that this is right here. It says this defendant pushed and scratched the victim, Mr. Charlesworth Lloyd, in the face and scratched him. It says they're married. They have a child in common. The child looks to be a little bit more than a year old, and a little boy. And also,
It's okay. Don't worry about that. That's. I mean, I don't mind telling you, but you're within your bounds to say that.
it's about the beginning of the end of it. So, all right, Mr. Miller, anything you want to say about this? She has no criminal record.
First defense, Judge. 10 years here in South Florida. Clearly, she has strong family support. She has two other children that she supports, aged 11 and 8, and I think they're with Auntie right now. She does have a place to stay while this is pending. She does have a job. She's been working at for 5 years. Judge, we've asked the court to consider pretrial release for her.
Okay, now, is there anything you want to tell me about, do you know, both of you know Charlesworth Lloyd?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how's your relationship with him?
I speak to him. I talk to him.
You get along with him?
I'm the only person that talk to him.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Is there some kind of bad feelings in the family?
Tell you the truth, Judge. He's not a good person.
Okay,
He, oftentimes,
okay,
my niece have to send the two girls to call me to pacify his beating her. When I go down to their home, he will not allow her to talk to me. He will curse, so she can't get out no word.
right.
So sometimes I take her and the kids to my home because we live close by. He don't talk to her
His mother-in-law.
and she don't talk to her neither because of him. She cannot talk to her. Let him.
Can you see your grandchildren,
No.
ma'am?
No, because of him.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Has he ever done anything to her in the past?
Well, yes, sir.
What has he done to
The
her?
reason why I doesn't talk to him, back in Antigua before he came over here, she went down to visit him and he held her hostage in the house for 1 week. He beat her up. They had him arrested.
Okay.
And he always,
Do you need water or coffee or something, ma'am? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
he always fight with her. She comes over to my house. Since he come up here, she comes over to my house. He fusses with her. He say, oh, she went to look man, or she went to do. She cannot come to me. The kids cannot come to see me. He beats her up all the time.
Does he?
No. Not one.
All right, and,
I checked this.
all right.
And yes,
See if
sir.
there's been that in custody in the-
She's the person that working. He does not work.
What does she do for work?
She works at the 5-star nursing home.
Okay,
So
and he doesn't work?
no. And if she just recently, she took another job to help out, and he told her to resign. Just 2 weeks ago, she sent in the resignation. She can't work there.
Let me ask you this. I let her out of jail today. Can she stay with you, Mom? Can she stay with you?
Yeah, but
Advise her to stay, or do you,
they,
Auntie?
they can stay with any one of us, but all her stuff is in the apartment. It's she who has she who pays for the apartment.
Well, I can't throw him out.
Okay, I
don't have the
understand,
ability to
sir.
throw him out. Let me ask you, you talked to him. We let her out of jail. Can you contact him and get her clothes and you go over and pick it up, or
I
you
don't,
talk to
Your
him?
Honor.
This morning I called him
I,
because
Go ahead.
Your Honor, frankly, I think this is a situation, from everything I'm being told from all sides, that she can go with a police officer to collect stuff, because it seems like there's issues with the families, Your Honor, so.
Well, you say you talked to him and you get along with him?
I talked to him this morning.
Right.
And I told him I need to get some clothes for Akeisha because I'm going to bail her out.
What did he say?
I'm not home, and I'm far from here.
Okay, so probably the police will be a better way to work it out. All right, so I'm going to release her today on her own recognizance. Court's going to order that she has no direct contact with Charles Ruth Lloyd. Where's the baby?
The baby, he's by my house, and the other two children
So all three kids are with you? Okay.
by me.
I'm going to order no direct contact with Charles Worth Lloyd. Don't call him, don't text him, don't email him. You can have third-party contact regarding the children and the house. If you need to go pick up your belongings, you can go over there with the Lauderhill Police and make sure they have a uniform and they're in a patrol vehicle. You can go over there and pick up your belongings with them one time. And then, ma'am, I'm going to ask you to stay 500 feet from Mr. Lloyd, where he lives, works, goes to school. And you're not allowed to possess any guns, any weapons, any firearms while you're on release, all right? Let me write it. I need to write it. Is there anything else? She doesn't have to pay a bond to get out of jail.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay?
Judge, is this ROR or pre-trial?
It's ROR.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You ready to go, Mr. Callahan?
Yes, Judge.
And then we're going to call Shada.
Their sisters, Shannon and
I'll go
Jasmine.
ahead there. He seems to be busy with something right now.
Okay, Nelson Lopez Cardona.
Morning, Mr. Cardona. Judge, I have Ms. Gutierrez, who is the defendant's aunt. She's pretty much the main source for setting a financial bond. Judge, I was just a little concerned about whether the PC affidavit reflects that the victim was placed in a well-founded fear at the time of the potential aggravated assault.
Sure.
That was my only issue with the PC, but I'm sure that that might be perfected because it appears that the statement was obtained by the victim. But the
Well,
defendant...
let me just tell Mr. Lopez Cardona, do you speak English?
Little bit.
No? Do we need to get an interpreter here?
I think, Judge, I don't need... ¿Hablas inglés?
No, un poquito.
Yeah, let's get the interpreter.
We need to get the interpreter.
I'll call her up,
Now,
Judge.
are these your clients in the back row?
Judge, yes, the family and the aunt. She speaks perfect English, so I didn't think about it when...
Sounds good.
I'll call up the interpreters right now.
Shade. Okay, Mr. Shade. Siéntese, por favor. Is he Matthew Killinger? Is the this is Pompano. Are you gonna give me one?
How about a beat, Judge? I do that.
Sir, you're charged with soliciting funds, panhandling in the roadway, and I see here, Killinger, I see here that in the path of oncoming cars, says the defendant is a habitual nuisance. He's been arrested at this exact location on multiple occasions. He's had ample opportunities for help via the homeless outreach program, and he was last arrested for the same thing, April 19th, and literally goes out. All right, so, Steve, tell me, do you have a brief history of this defendant?
What's his BCCN number?
843700. Mr. Killinger, do you have any money in the bank?
No, sir.
How long have you been down here in South Florida?
Total time of about 13 years.
Okay. Now, you're homeless at this time, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you were not homeless?
Well, I had moved back here from Texas, so I wasn't homeless in Texas. That was about a year and a half ago.
But you came here, were you homeless as soon as you got here from Texas?
I had a hotel room, and then I thought I had my old job back, and that didn't work out, so then I became homeless.
Let me ask you, why do you not take advantage of the homeless help they've offered you? The police say they keep offering to help you get in a homeless shelter, and they say you don't want to do it.
I'm an alcoholic, sir, so I guess I'd rather drink than go to a shelter.
Okay.
He had a capias for street solicitation, arrest on January of this year. Capias for street solicitation, November of last year. Capias for street solicitation. Capias for trespass last October, and the original arrest for the street solicitation.
Right.
Looks like he either.
So I'm going to set your bond today at $250. Now, Mr. Kilger, have you ever received any help for your alcoholism?
I did go to BARC, but I didn't finish the whole program.
Why didn't you finish?
I don't know.
Did you walk out of it?
Yeah, I did.
Let me ask you something. If you can't bond out on this and you remain in jail, would you like me to get you some help for alcoholism? I can put you in the 30-day program. Maybe it'll help you. I mean, do you want help? Do you think you hit bottom and you want to get some help? Or
yeah, I do.
okay, so I'm going to put you in the SAP, Substance Abuse Program in the jail, and then I'm going to ask Mr. Shade, as part of your representation, if this case is resolved, I just ask you to keep in mind that there maybe needs to be a component of it that he has help down the line too.
Okay.
Because if we can get Mr. Kilger some help with his alcohol, maybe we can get him off the street too. All right? So we're going to try to help you out, Mr. Killinger. All right?
Okay.
So your bond's going to be $250. Can you, I need an order for SAP. Do you know how to make out one of those orders?
Just, I mean, I do.
Special wording goes in, isn't there?
What?
Tell Mr. Shea that. No. Okay.
Well, one other thing is I do take I take a prescription for an anxiety disorder,
Right.
and I haven't been able to afford that. Is there any way of a program where I could get back on?
I'm going to write on here medication screen.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I drink so much. You know, it's
I don't know, for whatever
Medication screen. Make sure that this defendant's seen by someone and update him on his meds, all right? Okay, sir. Thank you.
all right. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sure you can grab it now. God, it's like dead animal.
Take a look at it.
That's kind of what meat is.
Okay, I think that's it, Mr. Shea.
That's it? Okay, Judge, let me finish up to this order.
Let's see Durrett Smith.
I don't see how. It says.
Sir, domestic battery, the court finds probable cause. Do you have any priors on Miss Smith?
No prior.
I think that's a bit of a stretch for PC. But is his girlfriend here?
Okay. No priors. Did you have contact?
Yes, he is concerned with safety.
Okay. Mr. Miller, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Smith is a 10-year resident of South Florida. She works at Park Summit ALF for the past 7 years, and also works at Trust Ridge Hospital in Boca. Hospice in Boca. She has an adult child, strong family ties. She owns her own home, no money in the bank. She does have a place to stay separate from the alleged victim while this is pending, and she will have to self-bond. So that's for a minimal bond in this case.
I understand. Ma'am, allegedly, you hit Adrian Strachan with a aerosol can to the back of his head, causing him to lose blood. He fell on the floor, lost consciousness for an unknown period of time. Police observed a 3-inch gash with dried blood to the back left side of his head, dried blood on the floor of the kitchen, living room, and master bedroom. So, ma'am, based on the level of violence and the court's concern for the safety of the alleged victim, the court's going to set your bond at $8,500 today. The court will order that you have no contact, directly or indirectly, with Adrian Strachan. You're not allowed to call him, text him, email him. You must stay 500 feet from him at all times. That is where he lives, works, goes to school, anywhere in between. You're not allowed to possess guns, firearms, or ammunition while you're on release. Thank you. Let's see David Ginsburg.
There you go. Come on up, Mr. Ginsburg. Judge, we're going to ask the court for a mental health screen for Mr. Ginsburg.
Okay. Mr. Ginsburg, you're charged with domestic battery. The court finds probable cause. State, are there any priors on
One moment, Judge. 06, possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. 04, theft.
Got it. Did you have any contact with the alleged victim, sir?
Yes, he is concerned with her safety.
Okay. Victim's concerned. Okay. Mr. Miller, anything you'd like to add?
Judge, Mr. Ginsburg is a 24-year resident of South Florida. He's been at the same address for the past 7 months. He works at Converges. He has 2 children that he helps take care of, age 16 and 19. Strong family ties. He does have some money in the bank. He does own his own home. He will have a place to stay separate from the alleged victim while the case is pending, and he's hoping that his parents will bond him out.
Okay. That says he's married for 2 years. Allegedly sat on top of his wife, put his fingers in her mouth, tried to pry her mouth open, cutting her lip, causing pain to her jaw and mouth, began to squeeze her throat, restricting her breathing. She had bruising on her arm, wrist, mouth, laceration inside of her bottom lip, scrapes on both of her hands. Sir, based on your criminal record, the level of violence, the court's concerned, the safety of Ms. Simone Ginsburg, the court will set your bond today at $8,500, and the court will order that you have no contact, directly or indirectly, with Simone Ginsburg. You're not allowed to contact her by telephone, text, email, note, or letter. You must stay 500 feet from her at all times. That is where she lives, works, goes to school, anywhere in between. You're not allowed to possess guns, firearms, or ammunition while you're on release.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be asking for a GPS monitor based on the allegations of what motivated.
I'm going to do that. I think that's probably a good idea. I'm going to order pretrial release with the GPS monitor. I'll waive the cost of the monitor. Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck. Down the middle, out the door. Okay.
Let's see, John Arroyo.
Main jail.
So you're charged with a domestic battery. The court finds probable cause. State, do you have any priors on Mr. Arroyo?
No, Judge.
No criminal record? Was there contact with the alleged victim?
Outside.
No?
Outside.
Okay.
Outside.
Now, anything you'd like to add, Mr. Miller?
Judge, Mr. Arroyo has lived in South Florida for the past 6 months. He works at the Venture condominium doing maintenance. He has 3 children that he takes care of, age 5, 6, and 11. Strong family ties, some money in the bank. He will have a place to stay separate from the alleged victim while this case is pending. I think he's expecting his wife to bond him out.
Okay. So the court today notes that you allegedly pushed your wife. She hit the floor, punched her in the right side of her head and in her mouth. Police got there and said she had a golf ball sized knot on the upper right corner of her forehead, minor lacerations inside of her lips. So based on the level of violence, the court's concerned for her safety. The court's going to set your bond at $8,500. And the court will order no contact with Jennifer Ruiz. You're not allowed to call her, text her, email her. You must stay 500 feet from her at all times. That is where she lives, works, goes to school, anywhere in between. You're not allowed to possess guns, firearms, or ammunition while you're on release.
So how that works? If I don't have to, all the money I have to stay?
Sir, do you have any children with Miss Ruiz? Is she the mother of your children?
Yes.
Okay, I'll allow indirect contact. You can go through a family member to have contact with your children, all right, sir? But don't contact Miss Ruiz. Thank you.
Okay.
Jesse Edward Walden, Wayman Benjamin, Marjorie. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Edward Walden. Aggravated battery, causing bodily harm. Court finds probable cause. Steve, do you have any priors on this gentleman?
1999, possession of firearm by convicted felon, delivery of marijuana, possession of cocaine, felony possession of marijuana, 90 months state prison as a habitual offender. 95, possession of firearm by convicted felon, carrying concealed firearm, possession of marijuana, 5 years habitual offender. 95, 2 counts of battery. 94, possession of marijuana with intent to sell or deliver with a VOP, 19 months state prison. 1991, armed kidnapping, 2 counts of sexual battery.
Oh wait.
Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, make sure about that.
No. Okay. One moment, Judge.
We're going to double check that.
I'm just curious if he's saying that he wasn't convicted of those.
Defendant allegedly struck Tina Gore with an aluminum bat. She had a contusion and laceration on her left forearm as a result.
Okay. I understand, Your Honor, Mr. Walden takes issue, but under case number 91-23898 CF10A.
91-23.
898 CF10A before Judge Stanton Kaplan. On October 27th, 1992, he was convicted of kidnapping and 2 counts of sexual battery.
Okay. Is he registered as a sex offender?
One moment, Your Honor. He doesn't seem shocked anymore. I'm not showing him as being registered.
No? Huh. That may have been a statutory type thing. You know?
I don't know.
Before a certain date or whatever, I don't know. All right. Now, let me ask Mr. Miller, is there anything you'd like to say today?
Judge, Mr. Walden has been living in South Florida for his entire life. Been at the same address for the past 3 years. He works at Wildcat Demolition for the past 2 years. He has a 1-year-old child that he takes care of. Strong family ties, some money in the bank, no real estate. He does have a place to stay, separate from the alleged victim while the case is pending, and he will be bonding himself out.
Okay.
No child support, sir.
Do you have contact?
She wants to press charges.
She does? All right. Okay. Okay. So based on your armed kidnapping, 2 sex batteries, 2 other misdemeanor batteries, drug charges in the past, court will set your bond today, $25,000, order pretrial release with a GPS monitor, waive the cost of the monitor. Sir, I'm going to order you have no contact with Tina Gary, directly or indirectly. Do not call her, text her, email her. Stay 500 feet from her at all times. It's where she lives, works, goes to school, anywhere in between. She's not allowed to possess any guns, any weapons, any firearms while you're out on release. Thank you.
Judge, we need to make some accommodations for the child that they have in common.
I'll allow indirect contact regarding the child. Indirect
Thank you,
contact
Judge.
only regarding the child.
Thank
How
you.
about Wayman Benjamin? You call Spanish.
Man in jail?
Aggravated battery on a pregnant female. Sir, the court finds probable cause. Allegedly, Ms. Woodbine stated that you kicked her in the stomach. It's alleged that she told you she was pregnant, and that you confirmed to the police that you knew she was pregnant. Sheriff's Office. State, do we have prayers on him?
One moment, Your Honor.
Do you have contact with her?
Yeah, she's not in fear.
Not in fear? Okay, go ahead, State.
He had a possession of controlled substance out of Iowa, 2012.
Okay, now, she says she doesn't want to press charges. What was her comment?
Said she wasn't charged with press and she's not concerned with her safety.
Okay. Sir, on these facts, even though they are of serious nature, I'm going to take the totality. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Crystal Woodbine. Don't call her, don't text her, don't email her. Stay 500 feet from her at all times. That is where she lives, works, goes to school. Anywhere in between, you're not allowed to possess guns or weapons while you're on release. Thank you.
Hey.
I work at
Spanish interpreter?
Yes, Judge.
What?
I work like where she works. I work.
Judge?
Yes.
I'm learning that Mr. Benjamin and the alleged victim in the case work at the same place.
What
I
type
did
of
not
work
know
is
that.
that, sir?
Teleperformance.
I don't know. What kind
It's a call center.
call center? Can you get a different shift? Can you work a different shift?
I could request as soon as possible.
Well, do your best to request it. Until then, you got to stay 500 feet from her. Now, if you get on a different shift, she's not there, you know, you can go in and work. How many people work there when you're working there?
It's a lot of people. A lot
All
of
right,
people.
well, just get on a different shift, all right?
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, off you go. Good luck.
All right, Ms. Nelson Lopez Cardona.
Present at the main.
Judge Dana Callahan again on behalf of Mr. Lopez Cardona.
Señor Callahan, de parte del señor López Cardona.
His aunt has detained me to represent him here at First Appearance. We're just going to invoke his right to remain silent, Judge.
Me han contratado para servirlo como abogado y vamos a invocar el derecho de guardar silencio, su señoría.
Sir, do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, truthfully, to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor. Gabriel Sinisi, court interpreter. Deme un momento, por favor.
I don't know what to call How you doing? I can do you have children? I have okay. Do you have children? Sir, do you have children of your own? And then
Good afternoon, Mr. Lopez Cardona.
Buenas tardes, señor López Cardona.
Sir, he's being represented by Mr. Callahan,
Good afternoon. Está siendo representado por el señor Callahan,
who is in my courtroom.
que está en mi sala.
You do not need to make any comments about your case today.
Usted no está necesitado hacer ningún tipo de comentario sobre su caso hoy.
Allow Mr. Callahan to speak on your behalf.
Permítale al señor Callahan que hable de parte suya.
You do not need to say anything unless we ask you a question. Is that understood, sir?
Es entendido, señor, que usted no debe responder a nada salvo que se le haga una pregunta. ¿Entendido?
Correcto.
Correct.
Mr. Callahan, your client's charged with aggravated assault with a firearm and possession of cannabis, misdemeanor amount.
Señor Callahan, su cliente ha sido acusado de agresión agravada con arma mortal y posesión de cannabis.
Court finds, do you have an objection to probable cause today?
Judge, I was going to try to argue that it might have been improper exhibition, but I think based upon what I spoke with the state and the fact that the victim did give a sworn statement subsequent indicating he was in fear of his life, I'm not going to object to the court making that finding.
¿Tiene alguna objeción a que se dictamine que hay motivo fundado? Iba a ser la objeción, su señoría, pero después de haber hablado con la fiscalía y del atestado de la víctima, no vamos a hacer ninguna objeción con respecto al motivo fundado.
So the court will find probable cause now. State,
Dictamina el tribunal que existe motivo fundado ahora. Señor fiscal, ¿hay antecedentes para este caballero?
I do see he has an alias of Nelson Chichia.
Sí veo que hay un alias para el señor Nelson Chachia.
Yes, under that name, in 2008, he had a resisting without violence and no valid DL, Judge.
Bajo ese alias, en el 2008 tenía un resistir sin violencia y conducir sin licencia, señor.
Is that without violence?
Yes.
Era sin violencia, sí.
2008. Because I know the court wants to, if I could proffer, Your Honor, that he's got two children here that are both United States citizens, and he's from Honduras. He came here when he was 14. Other than this incident and that resisting charge, he seems to have a good record from the standpoint. I know that this is a serious allegation with the use of a firearm, but just from the strength of the PC affidavit, I'd ask the court to consider setting a low bond and a no contact order. I'm sure that my client will understand not to have contact with the victim or any of the witnesses.
Su señoría, simplemente quiero presentar aquí al tribunal que están las dos criaturas del señor aquí. Él vino de Honduras, ambos son ciudadanos americanos. Él vino de Honduras a la edad de 14 años. Sé que es un poco grave el cargo con la situación del arma de fuego, pero estoy pidiendo que bajo la debilidad del atestado policial que considere su señoría reducir la fianza y por supuesto mi cliente entiende que no debe tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima.
Is Miss Maldonado in the courtroom?
No, Judge.
La señora Maldonado se encuentra en la sala, no su señoría.
Callahan, how does Mr. Lopez Cardona know the alleged victim?
Judge, according to the PC
¿Cómo
affidavit,
conoce el señor López Cardona la alegada víctima? De acuerdo al atestado policial,
seems like a triangle situation, Judge, where the victim might have been, I guess, somehow related to the witness that my client was going over to visit. That witness indicates that there was some type of relationship between the two. I'm assuming that might have been the cause of this phone call, but it seemed to be a juvenile. I'm not sure who contacted 911, Your Honor, but I don't think the victim initiated police involvement. It seemed to be someone else, but ultimately we have the victim giving a statement. So again, even the victim statement that I'm reading seems to be that there was a displaying of a gun, and then the other witness indicates that there was a pointing of the gun. So I think that would...
I understand.
The way I'm reading, Your Honor, is the victim and Ms. Maldonado have a child in common.
lo que sí entiendo es que la víctima, la señora Maldonado, tiene una criatura.
Okay.
Entiendo esa parte.
And it appears that Mr. Lopez Cardona is currently in a relationship with Ms. Maldonado.
Y está en una relación actualmente con la señora Maldonado.
She's in a relationship with the defendant.
Ella dice que está en una relación con el imputado. Así que él alegadamente
the father of his girlfriend's child.
Alegadamente saca el arma en frente del padre de la criatura. Okay, ya lo he entendido.
What causes me concern in this case, obviously, the involvement of a fire.
Lo que me preocupa es el involucramiento de un arma de fuego.
That there was a child in the car.
Que había una criatura en el coche.
And allegedly under the influence of alcohol when this occurred.
Y alegadamente bajo la influencia del alcohol.
I don't want to speculate, but I do have some concerns whether
no quiero especular, pero
Mr. Lopez Cardona would have known the child would be in the car. I would think if he is in a relationship with Ms. Maldonado, he would know whether Ms. Maldonado has the child, whether the father of the child, since he was dropping the child off. He would think if they're living together, he would know who has the child at what time. And it appears that Ms. Maldonado was present when this occurred, so I would think he would know that the child wasn't with Ms. Maldonado. And I think the fact that Ms. Maldonado is willing to testify or gave testimony against the person she's currently in a relationship, I think that is strong evidence, Your Honor.
Let's talk about bond or release conditions.
If I could just throw something out at the state, though, that the same person that did testify, maybe truthfully, I wouldn't say against him, okay, because we don't know whether or not this was an act of self-defense, maybe. But at the same time, I could speculate that it might be self-defense, but I'm not going to go there, Judge. But this witness let him in the house. So whatever happened outside, this witness who testified against him welcomed him into the home. So, Judge, I understand that the court wants to set a bond. I was going to ask, I know that we used to have the old bond schedule, but in lieu of his history, if the court could set the bond somewhere between $25 and $100 and $5,000. I spoke to the family at the property. Gutierrez is the sole source. He does have a friend from work here today. I can profit that. Gentleman in the back row is going to help out as well, Judge.
Okay.
And, Your Honor, the only thing I would note is, it should be noted, and it says in the last paragraph, the officer, when speaking to Mr. Lopez Cardona, he gave an opportunity to give his side. He did not make any claim that he was acting in self-defense. He did not make any claim.
Judge, that should not be used against him in any way whatsoever, not even a first appearance, Your Honor. It's a Fifth Amendment right. So I would object to the state bringing that up.
Your Honor.
I'll listen to what they say, but I'm going to give it its proper weight.
Your Honor, I don't. If the defense is going to mitigate, speculate, just give a mere speculation that it could be in self-defense, an argument or an affirmative defense, which the court already knows, that the defense would have to raise evidence, almost always in the form of the defense or the defendant giving testimony that they acted in self-defense. And certainly, it would be reasonable to make an argument that when given an opportunity to say, no, this is why I did what I did, he chose not to. So if there's going to be speculation on one side, then certainly I should be allowed to bring a counter argument.
I think I would say that
my point is, then the court shouldn't give any weight to possible self-defense when there's no evidence of self-defense.
I'll take the totality of circumstances. They say they can maybe muster together a $5,000 bond.
That's not reasonable for pointing a gun at someone when there's a child in the car under the influence of alcohol.
Is there anyone who speaks English back there, Mr.
Kelly? Ms. Gutierrez, actually.
Who does?
His aunt.
Come on up, ma'am.
She's pretty much been the matriarch of the relationship.
Raise your hand if you swear. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Exactly. So, yes.
Okay, put your hand down. Tell me your name.
My name is Ruth. Ruth, R-U-T-H, Gutierrez.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
How do you know Nelson?
Well...
Is he your nephew?
Well, actually, I feel he's my nephew.
Oh, but you affectionately call him that, but he's not really your blood nephew.
Yes.
I got it. Okay, so let me ask you this, ma'am. Are you working? You look like you're in the medical field.
Yes,
What do you do?
I am CNA. I work for
That's
Northern
great.
Court.
And are you going to help bond him out of jail today, ma'am?
Yes.
You own your own home?
Yes.
You okay? How long have you lived down here?
¿Cuánto tiempo vivo aquí?
Myself?
Yes.
Yo.
About 38 years.
Unos
Wow,
38 años.
great. Okay, how about Nelson? How long has he lived
Nelson,
down
¿cuánto
here?
tiempo vivo
Well,
aquí?
around maybe, I think so, 14 or 15 years, something
creo
like
que
that. I'm
12,
not
15
sure,
años, no
but
estoy seguro.
that's,
Who's going to help bond him out
¿Quién va a
besides you?
ayudar
Do you have anyone
a
else here
sacarlo
who's
bajo
going to help?
fianza? ¿Hay alguien más aquí?
well, I don't know if his friend
No sé si su
also.
amigo
What's
también.
his name? What's your
¿Cuál
name?
es- cuál es su nombre?
Romero.
Jose
Jose
Romero. Okay. Let me ask you, what do you do for work,
¿Qué hace
Jose?
usted, José?
We do a roofing. We were roofing.
Los techos.
Morton roof.
Okay.
Construcción de
And
techos.
what,
We work together to me in the same
Y
company.
trabajamos juntos.
say, what do you think appropriate bond is?
¿Cree que es
I don't think anything less than 10,000 would be appropriate
Okay,
considering
well,
the
the
allegations.
court's going to split the baby today, set the bond at
Va a fijar la
$7,500.
fianza en
Count two
$7,500.
ROR.
El segundo cargo es el bajo palabra.
Order that,
Va a ordenar el tribunal
that this defendant have
que
no
este imputado no
contact
tenga ningún
directly or
contacto
indirectly with
directo o
Mr.
indirectamente
Elliot
con
Rodriguez.
Elio Rodríguez.
You are not allowed to have any
No le permite
contact with
tener
him.
ningún contacto con
You
él.
must stay 500
Debe
feet
quedarse
from
a
him at all
500 pies
times.
de distancia alejado de él a
You
todo
are not
momento.
allowed to possess
No se le
any
permite
guns,
poseer ningún arma de fuego,
any ammunition,
ninguna munición,
any firearms,
ninguna
any
pistola
other
o
weapon
o
while
revólver,
you are
ningún
on
arma
release.
mientras que usted es libre bajo fianza.
Your Honor, at this point in time, I'm going to ask also that the
Voy a
no
pedir
contact
el fiscal dice
apply
que va a pedir
to Maria Maldonado also.
María Maldonado que no haya contacto.
Now, let me see, Maria Maldonado is his girlfriend.
Es la
But
novia
I
de
do
María
have a
Maldonado.
concern, Your Honor. I mean, obviously,
Preocupación.
according to this, she witnessed him
Ella fue testigo.
point a firearm at not only at the father of her child who was in the vehicle with her child. So
Estaba en el vehículo con su criatura.
All right,
Bien.
I'm going to order no contact
Voy a
with Maria
ordenar que no tenga
Maldonado, at
contacto
least for the
con
time
María
being.
Maldonado, por lo menos por
No
este
contact
tiempo.
directly or indirectly with
Ningún
Maria
tipo de contacto
Maldonado.
directo o
Stay
indirecto
500
con
feet
María
away from
Maldonado.
her
500
also.
pies de distancia de ella
She is a
también.
key witness in
Ella
this
es un
matter.
testigo clave en este asunto.
Abundance of caution, the court believes that's a
Por
wise way
precaución,
to.
creo que es sabio hacerlo así.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me ask, who did you bring with you, ma'am? Who else is out
¿Quién
here?
más está aquí?
Stand up and
¿Quién
tell us
trajo?
your names.
Díganos su nombre.
His wife,
La
His
esposa.
wife?
yes,
Wait, whose wife?
La esposa de quién?
Nelson wife.
La esposa de Nelson.
Wait,
That's not Miss Maldonado.
Esa no es la señora
no,
Maldonado.
that's
Whoa.
the curious part.
so Maria Maldonado
María Maldonado
is not his wife, his
No es su
girlfriend,
esposa,
but his
sino-
wife is in
pero su
court.
esposa
Yes,
está en
sir.
el tribunal. Sí, señor.
Okay, this is starting to make sense now.
Esto empieza a tener un poco de
All right,
sentido.
now, who else is here?
¿Quién más está aquí?
He's good friend.
She's my wife. We good friends, so you know.
She is your wife.
Ella es la esposa suya, sí.
She's
Got
my
it.
wife, and she's
La esposa de Nelson.
She doesn't look
I've
very happy.
explained,
Yo
Judge, and I
expliqué
just want everybody to know that
que
this is a probable cause
que es
affidavit,
un estado
that
policial.
we don't know what in this probable cause
Que no
affidavit is
sabemos
true or
qué en
not
este estado
true.
es verdad o no.
So I just want everyone to understand that that's where we're at.
Que ahí estamos
And I know that I spoke
y sí
to
que hablé con
the aunt, and I also spoke
La
with
tía,
my client's
y
wife,
la
and
esposa
she's
del
a,
cliente,
you know, understanding of the
y está
situation,
entendiendo
and she's
toda la
still standing
situación,
by her husband,
y aún
so.
apoya a su
Oh, I
esposa.
understand that. Let me
Yo
explain to
entiendo, tengo que
everyone
explicarle a todos,
who's here. Who's in the back row, way back there?
atrás de todo.
Another case, I think.
Oh, another case.
Yes.
I'm
Es otro
sorry.
caso. Perdón.
Okay. Today,
Hoy,
what is in the police report
lo que está en el estado
is
policial
merely an accusation
meramente
against
una
Nelson.
acusación en contra de Nelson.
These accusations
Esta
may turn
acusación
out
quizás resulten
later on
después
not to be true.
no ser veraces.
I don't know that now.
Yo no sé eso ahora.
Mr. Callahan is a fine lawyer,
El señor Callahan es un buen abogado.
and I know that his work will be to
El trabajo
bring
de
the
él
truth out.
va a ser para
down the road
resulta la
from
verdad ya acá en el futuro.
So,
Así que
anything else you want to discuss,
algo más que
Mr.
quería hablar.
Callahan?
Señor
That's all,
Callahan.
Judge,
No,
just
eso es
that,
todo.
I've been ordered my client
Se me
not to talk
ordenó
to
a mi
anybody
cliente que no
about
hablara
this
con
case except
nadie,
for me.
excepto conmigo, que no hable con nadie. Cuando él salga, va a contactarme a mí.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so that, you're saying don't discuss this over the telephone, right?
No hable sobre esto por teléfono, para nada, con nadie.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.
Gracias,
Great
señoría.
day, Judge.
Que tenga buen día.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to make an announcement
Sure,
for
yeah.
Spanish.
¿Alguien más en la sala requiere intérprete en español? No. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Well, moving right along. Mr. Miller.
Yes, Judge. Judge, I've got a
Interesting
bit
day
of a
today,
problem.
sir. That's all I can. Very interesting day we're having.
It's been a very domestic violence intensive day.
Oh, yeah, that too. All right.
Judge, can I briefly, and I apologize for doing this, I don't like to recall cases, but Ms. Smith is concerned that the court was not aware that the alleged victim in her case does not want to prosecute. He did not give a taped statement at the scene. You set the bond at $8,500, and she thinks that if you were aware of that, you wouldn't have set it so high.
No,
I was just wondering if...
No, I considered all of that. No, I just think that, basically whacking him in the back of the head with the aerosol can that it takes him to the ground and leaves a 3-inch gash deserved a significant bond. All right?
Understood, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Marjorie Dixon. Marjorie Dixon?
President the Maine, Judge, Ms. Dixon.
All right, where's Ms. Dixon? Ma'am, you have an out-of-state hold that appears to be Georgia. Probation violation for robbery. You're going to be held without bond. I'll see you in extradition court probably on Thursday, ma'am. Sheila Arstill.
Okay, good luck. She's at North Broward, Judge. Over there.
North Broward.
North Broward, do you have Arstill?
Yes,
There you
North
go.
Broward.
Okay, ma'am, you have 2 misdemeanors, both cannabis and drug paraphernalia. You're being held without bond on both of those counts, ma'am. Thank you. How about Elena Thunder? Do you have Thunder over there?
She's President of Maine, Judge. She's declined the services of the public defender.
Ms. Thunder, you have a warrant for cannabis. Court finds probable cause. $500. Okay. Do we have priors on her?
Oh, wait.
Where's Thunder? Come on back, ma'am. Ms. Thunder, are you a member of the Seminole tribe?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been down here in South Florida, ma'am?
3 years.
Okay. Now, do you want to bond out for $500, or would you like to work your case out today and plead no contest? If you bond out, you can come back to court with an attorney and, I don't know, maybe work it out another way.
I'd like to bond out.
Okay. Your bond's $500, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Dawkins?
Chantel Dawkins, Jasmine
President of
Brown,
Maine.
Shannon Brown.
Judge, this is Ms. Dawkins. She declined the services of the public defender.
Chantel Dawkins, ma'am, DUI count 1. Is she bond? Is that what you said? Ma'am, your bond's been posted. Ms. Brown, I mean, Ms. Dawkins, let me look here.
Whatever.
All right, Ms. Dawkins.
Good.
Your bond's been posted. You can be out of jail shortly. Ma'am, you only have 10 days to go to the DMV to get a temporary driving permit. I'm going to order you not allowed to consume any alcoholic beverages while you're on release, all right? Thank you. Let's see Jasmine Brown and Shannon Brown.
Your Honor.
Jasmine Brown is at North Broward. Shannon Brown is President of Maine. She has declined the services of the public defender. And we have an argument with regard to probable cause on both cases.
Go ahead. Okay.
I'm going to be asking for 24 hours on both cases, Your Honor. I think that there are identification issues. I think what I can proffer, because I imagine what...
You're going to be seeking to hold them without bond, proof evidence presumption great.
Yes, I would ask that, Your Honor.
So you are asking that you have 24 hours to perfect both of these?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. I'm going to put these on for Tuesday PM on both. I want to be clear for the record. I was contacted by a bonding agency before we started court that they are standing by to post bonds on these if There is not. So,
I'll keep my thoughts to myself about
well,
that.
you know, I can't help it.
No, I'm not. It's not. No, it's not you. It's not you.
I'm
It's
just
that,
letting everyone know that that's what occurred. All right.
my thoughts had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the other end, Your Honor.
Okay. So, we'll see both the Browns tomorrow at
Something like that.
1:30. Thank you.
Roger that.
Sir, can I help
All right,
you?
we'll see you tomorrow. Well,
Not something like that, which could be non-bondable. They don't need to put in the church statement.
May I help you? Which case are you here on?
Manuel Roman.
Manuel Roman? Yes, he, Manuel Roman.
Sorry, no.
Hi, ma'am. Do you speak English? No Inglés? Which language?
Spanish.
Okay, hold on one moment.
It's a 30-day, Your Honor, and it has been filed.
It has been filed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you say something?
Hold on one minute.
Yep. Well, Kiefer.
Sir, do you speak English?
It's on the second. It's on the felony second docket. Manuel Roman
speak
Corrales.
English.
But you don't speak Spanish?
Very, very little.
What's that? Yeah, both. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, do you speak any English? No Inglés? Okay, you're gonna have to call back the Spanish interpreter. Okay, siéntese, por favor. Gracias. Okay. May I see Jericho Bryant?
North Broward.
Mr. Bryant, you're charged with trespassing.
Yes, I didn't know I was on the property, sir.
No, you didn't know you were on the property, okay?
So
Understand.
I was laying on the grass.
Understand. Trespassed March 18th of 2015, giving the defendant several warnings, advising him that he was trespassing. As you know, that the shopping center, okay? Right.
Well, sir, I didn't know I was trespassing this time. I was on the grass by Holiday Springs.
Right.
Your Honor,
Okay, go ahead.
just to let you know, his last arrest was about a month ago.
What was that for?
It was a case for trespassing, but his location of arrest was 7800 Sample Road, essentially the same
Right.
place.
So he didn't know when he was laying on the grass. It says impaired by alcohol, by the way. And it says that he didn't know that he was actually on that property.
It's a shopping center.
So
No.
I don't know if you don't know where when you're on the property or not, I'm not sure how to help you. Are you currently employed, sir?
No, sir.
Do you have any money in the bank?
No, sir.
All right. All right, sir. I'm gonna set your bond today at $100. I'm gonna let you bond out. Please do not return to that address, sir. Thank you.
Would the court appoint the PD's office to represent him? Maybe we could get this matter on the docket faster.
Let me ask you, sir. Do you have any money to bond out with?
No, sir.
Do you have any money to hire?
I I get a Social Security check every month.
You do? All right. Okay, I'll appoint the PD. Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, what about Ryan Deza?
Bonded.
Ryan Deza, that person's bonded out of jail. How about Diego Echeverri?
Bonded.
How about Fabian Figueroa?
Present. Main jail.
So you have a warrant on a traffic case that's $500. Thank you, sir. You can bond out. How about Jamal Miller?
Mr. Miller's present at the main.
Mr. Miller resisting arrest and loitering or prowling. Court finds probable cause.
Mr. Offsall, we need a photo order for Mr. Miller.
Sounds good.
Court finds probable cause. Does defendant have any priors? Stan?
Miller, he's got a. He went through diversion last year on a Grand Theft Auto out of Dade. He had a resisting without violence 2013 in Dade. And
He had a Grand Theft Auto last year out of Dade that he went through diversion, and he's in Broward.
he's
Hiding in a car at 3:30 in the morning when he lives down in Dade. He's in Davie
now
at 3:30 in the morning.
he's been picked up a lot of times as an adult and
Said I was in a
juvenile.
car.
Admittedly, they've been dropped in Dade.
So I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. I hopefully this will be a lesson to you. You probably want to kind of curtail this type of behavior. You're gonna end up going to prison eventually. Thank you. How about Zachariah Vincennes?
Your Honor, she said she's in the bathroom real quick.
Excuse me?
Main jail.
You've been charged with 3 counts of violating community control. No bond. Thank you. How about
See the judge
Gregory
on
Roll
Wednesday.
and Johnny G?
He's at North Broward.
Just with the court to a minute on screen on Mr. Roll.
North Broward role is medical reset.
We don't need to do that. We're gonna just send him right to the division. 100 on 1. No bond on 2 and 3. Mental health screen as ordered.
And Johnny Jean. Page 10, Johnny Jean.
And Johnny Jean.
Bonded, Judge.
Bond was posted. He'll be out of jail. There you go. Okay, got that. Let's see here. How about Robert McKinney? Robert McKinney.
One moment, Judge.
Judge, it does not appear that any of the 30-day motions made it to the list.
They all 3 did.
I know we.
did.
Right. I have them on my docket, on the second look docket.
One misdemeanor.
But there's a list that's printed out by the PSO, tells them who to pull, and none of those people made it.
Okay, well, tell me about Robert McKinney.
Okay, McKinney.
McKinney order. Right.
McKinney hasn't been filed yet.
Hereby granted on McKinney. Bond is set at ROI.
Actually, one wasn't put on the docket. One moment, Your Honor.
Who do you have over there, Mr. Miller? Miller.
Judge, I've got Thomas Derbyshire. He's here, 3 counts, touch or strike battery, $1,000 per count. How long have you been in custody?
8 days, 6 days, 7 days, I think.
Been in custody about a week. Milkshake. Do you want to resolve this today?
Oh, and Voss. Come here. I don't want to. You may want to. There's one guy that didn't make the docket, but normally I would say if you want to, you could just do without him here, but you may want to have him here because what's going on. You may want to be able to ask him, can he still, because even if he's ROR'd on this, he's still going to be a $5,000 bond plus pretrial ammo on this. And if he
So I'm
can
going to
afford the
send this to your
$5,000 bond,
division. Thank you,
he's going
sir.
to be held. He's going to. He's
division
not
on
going to
Derbyshire. Right.
So, do you want to just have him? Well, they don't. I don't know if they pulled him.
Judge, this is Alexander
Do you want to
Vilce.
have it?
Vilce.
Oh, if they can
Anyway,
pull it, yeah,
he's
so
here on
what
a
I'm telling you
trespass.
is,
How long have you been in custody?
Even if you filed it tomorrow, I'd
Been here
still
for
give him
about a
the
week
option
on a
because by
$100
the time
bond.
he's
He can't
supposed to
afford
be
to
here, I
pose.
would give that to him.
He would like to resolve it if the court's so
So just
inclined.
let me know. If not, I'll call Margin Teller and get it scheduled for tomorrow. Because he should have been on the docket. Let me. That's a good question. Let me make sure. No, but that's a good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is. It's 34.
His sister also advised that she had a restraining order and needed.
Yeah. Then just make the call right now and see what they can do. He's Conti. Omar Sao, S-A-O, and his arrest number.
Okay, sir, would you like to resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Plead no contest. I'm going to
contest.
withhold adjudication, but I'm going to order no contact with your sister, Melissa Sargent. You have to
Yes,
stay
sir.
500 feet from her.
Is
You
this
understand that?
Gabriel Anderson, Your Honor?
All right.
No, it's Vilsack.
Oh,
Sir, do you understand when you plead no contest, your case is over with today? We're not going to have a trial. And you're not going to have your day in court. Is that clear?
That's clear.
Your Honor.
So I'm going.
Yes, you.
Well, Your Honor,
Well,
Yes.
just
Wait
for
a
the
minute.
record, I am going to be opposing this because if memory serves, and I can confirm, I believe that Ms. Sargent's gone as far as to have, I don't know if she got an injunction against him or not.
Didn't. She had
I
applied
was
for one.
actually-
It had been granted, but it had not been served.
Well, then I'm still, and that's why I'm opposing, Your Honor, because
Spent 6 days in jail, so.
I understand,
think that's
Your Honor.
appropriate. Sir, how do you plead?
he pled already.
I plead no contest.
Okay, I'll withhold adjudication. Good luck. Thank you.
Judge, just before we close the book on him, can we make sure that if there is a restraining order, if I could ask the state to indulge me just to make sure that the restraining order is placed so that this man doesn't make any mistakes going forward?
I'm not going to. I'm
Just don't go over to her house. Assume that it's in effect.
All right.
And if you get served, you get served. If you don't get served, fine. But you'll just get rearrested if you head on over there, all right? Thank you.
Roger that. Thank you, Judge.
Very
We're
good.
clear at the main.
Okay, now,
Judge,
go ahead.
there's a 30-day motion on the docket. The gentleman that didn't make the docket,
supposed to be,
Omar
but didn't
Sao. He's at the Conti facility. They actually did pull him up.
Omar Sal,
Judge, may I make an inquiry?
let me ask you. I don't have, is it on the computer?
it is, but if you want to...
Judge, he does have another.
He's being held on a battery.
You're being held on a battery. If the judge were to ROR you on the injunction violation, would you be able to bond out on the battery?
No, sir. If I'm able to get R&R on both, I promise I stay away from the victim.
Well, the judge can't ROR you on the battery case. He can only ROR you on the violation of injunction. So what in essence would happen would be that you'd be ROR on one case and you'd still be in custody if you're unable to afford bond. Your attorney could set your matter before the judge on the battery case and see if they can reduce a bond or try to get you released on your own recognizance. But this judge is only dealing with the violation of injunction case. My only concern is this, sir, is that if you're ROR, you may lose gain time. I'm here to do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to ask for an ROR, I'll ask for an ROR. The thing is that what you only have 33 days, and you won't get any more time on the violation of injunction. So it's your choice.
It's perfect. I'll get R&R on that.
Also, just to advise you, on the battery case, I'm showing he's got a competency hearing scheduled before Judge McHugh on Thursday. And both of these cases are in front of Judge McHugh.
Okay.
He may not be competent enough to make that decision. But that opens up a can of worms, doesn't it?
Well, I think maybe ROR him on this motion. He's still being in custody, and that's
so
his wishes. I'm going to go along.
I don't have anything to write on.
Sure, Judge. I'll do it right now.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll release your ROR on that one count. Thank you. Now, what about Joseph Caruso? Did we handle that earlier?
Yes, we did.
Did we? That's what I thought. Yeah, what about Gabriel Anderson? Gabriel Anderson, where are you, sir? Okay, you Gabriel Anderson?
Copy, Your Honor.
Happy Father's Day, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, you're here for 2 counts of
Happy
trespassing.
Father's Day.
You've already had 2 other counts of trespassing, disorderly conduct this year.
Yeah, I apologize, Your Honor.
That's fine, but you don't need to apologize. Hold on. Let me look here.
I'm trying to do the best to straighten my ass up. It won't happen again, I can assure you.
Well, it does seem you're serious about it. Let me look here. McDonald's and the American gas station next door.
I know, it's hard for me.
Okay.
I know, I'm very cynical.
Okay, was displaying symptoms of being under the influence of Flocka. He was going to McDonald's, the gas station, flailing his arms, and
Actually, I wasn't in McDonald's.
okay, would you like me to put you in the drug program in the jail, sir?
No, Your Honor, I was actually going to a program on the outs, dealing with my sister that day.
Right.
And, there's nothing I can do to convince you, Your Honor.
I'm going to leave your bond where it is, but would you like me to put you in a drug program in the jail? I can do that for you, to get you off Flacca, get you off
Oh, no,
drugs.
I'm not on Flocka. No, Your Honor. If anything, I can assure you, I just would like to get ROR'd, and I've learned my lesson.
I know. Well, I'm not going to do that today, sir, but thank you. Okay, I'm going to send it to the division judge. How about Nancy Burnett?
All right. Yeah, and basically.
Nancy Burnett. Where is Nancy Burnett?
I understand that they both did the
There you go,
same
ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, you're here for a DUI. You've been in jail 7 days. How come you haven't bonded out yet, Miss Burnett?
And Jasmine Brown did.
Well, Judge Hurley, good afternoon. Yes, I have not because the only thing that I do have is a check in my possession. And I have a check made out for me, okay? I have nobody that can come and cash that out. It's already made out for me in my name. And actually I'm on disability, so I get another check then on the 3rd. So I have not been able to get any cash of any kind. My family's unable to help. I don't have anybody else that can really help just to cash bond out, sir.
Hold on, go ahead. Really? Is that the Coventry Street address in Boca? What, do you know why she can't go back to that address?
Well, I'm going to text you my info right
There's
now.
a address
Thanks, Deputy.
in Coventry Street, and the people there say you're not even allowed to come back there. Do you know about that?
Yes, sir. That is my family, and I have not lived there for 9-10 months now,
Where are you
and
gonna,
that's
where are you
just
gonna
an
live when you
agreement.
get out of jail?
Hey, Foss.
Right now, I'm going to be going through Calvary Chapel, the church that I've gone to for 20 years.
What's the
yeah,
address?
and
What's the address you're going to be living at when you get out of jail?
I'm still at the. I haven't completely moved out of the address where I was in Coconut Creek, Judge, and that's at 1108 Bahama Bend, Unit G1. I still have partial belongings there.
Your Honor, she gave us an address of 903 Northeast First Street in Pompano Beach, Florida.
That's the third
That's
address.
where I was at before.
Yeah, appears to have nowhere to
Ma'am,
Didn't we go
right
through
now I've
this
got
last
3 addresses. One in Boca, one in Coconut Creek, and
Like,
now
he
I
was
heard a
already
third
doing
one
it,
in
and
Pompano.
Patricia's like, wait a minute,
It
this is
doesn't
Pompano.
appear that you have a stable
And then he's like,
address,
she's
ma'am.
like, yes, I'm playing
It really
Yes,
doesn't.
the 903. If I could just tell you, the 903 is the halfway house that I lived at previous to where I have currently been at 1108 Bahama Bend.
Right. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to not take any action today. I'm going to let this go to your trial judge and let them try to resolve it for you there. Okay, ma'am? Would you like me to put you in the alcohol program in the jail, ma'am?
No, sir, I've been in the program. I have almost 10 months.
I understand. And then you picked up another DUI just 7 days ago. So apparently, you don't need to say anything. It looks like you fell off the wagon. So while you're in jail, if you can't bond out, I can get you alcohol treatment in the jail. Would you like me to do that?
I have a sponsor on the outside, and I have almost 10 months.
No, see, I'm talking apples and you're talking oranges. If you can't get out of the jail, which it doesn't appear that the short term you're going to be getting out of the jail, while you are sitting in the jail, would you like to have some alcohol counseling?
You mean to go through the whole SAT program?
Yes, ma'am.
Another 30-day program. I just did a 30-day program
yeah, but it
9
didn't
months
work.
ago.
You got another DUI. It didn't work. Okay, I've done my best. I'm trying to leave you the water, but you want to take a sip. So.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to make you misunderstand.
No,
Please
ma'am.
try. This is the first offense for me.
Ms. Burnett, just hold on. Clearly, you have an alcohol problem. You have a sponsor. You've gone 10 months through a program, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that people get sponsors and get help. That's a great thing. Now, it's a practical matter. You just got another DUI after you went 10 months and had a sponsor. You just got arrested for DUI. Now, what I'm saying to you is that it appears that 10 months you fell off the wagon. Now, as a practical matter, you're in the jail. I don't think you're going to get out of the jail the next week or 2 weeks. I think as a practical matter, you're going to be in jail for the short term. Now, while you're in the jail, maybe you could get some help. But, if you don't want to, that's fine. But that's okay. I'm just...
May I?
Go ahead.
I don't want to explain a whole lot with you and interrupt you. I'm trying to be very respectful, Judge.
Let me just say this. I'm trying to be respectful to you also. And if I came across as being anything other than respectful, please accept my apology. But I want to help. I don't want to punish you. I want to help you. Today, that's me. I don't know about the next judge, but today I love to see when people who have alcohol or drug problems get help. And the most I can do is I can put you in the program in the jail. And I want to help you. I'm not trying to keep you in the jail longer or punish you or pull a quick one on you. I want you to get help. Okay,
right.
so
I understand what happened the night that I was stopped.
Oh, wait.
You don't want to hear any of that.
It's not that I don't care. I'm looking out for your best interest, and it's not good that we'd start talking about what happened that night.
I was on medication that was basically
ma'am,
prescribed.
Please I don't even want you to say you're on medication.
Okay.
It's not good you say that. So, all right, ma'am. So I wish you the best of luck. All right, Miss Burnett?
Okay.
Thank you.
About the impoundment on my car, anything? Can I say anything?
Ma'am, why don't you call someone on the outside and tell them to go pick up your car for you? That can be done, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, now. So I think we got it. We got our Spanish interpreter. We're ready to go.
What did I just do?
Okay, so do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish, English, truthfully and to the best of your ability?
I do, Ana Gabriel Sinisi, court interpreter.
Okay, may I see Manuel Roman Corrales? Manuel Roman Corrales. I don't think they pulled him up. Okay.
He's on the docket.
He's on the docket, but they didn't bring him to the courtroom. Ma'am? Is he your client? Corrales? Roman Corrales?
He's here in a 30 days, so you guys must have filed it.
Yeah. Okay.
¿Corrales o
Ma'am,
Corrales?
raise your right hand for me.
Señora, levante la mano derecha para el juez.
Do you swear or affirm
Jura o afirma
to tell the truth,
decir
the
la
whole
verdad,
truth,
toda la verdad
and nothing but
y
the
nada más que la verdad?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
Dígame su nombre en voz alta para el acta.
Aida Santiago.
Okay, Miss Santiago.
Señor Santiago,
How do you know Mr. Manuel Roman
¿cómo lo conoce,
Corrales?
señor Manuel Román Corrales?
My brother.
My brother.
He's your brother. Okay, thank you.
Es su hermano, gracias.
Now I'm looking here.
Estoy mirando aquí en la computadora
Formal charge.
y veo que una acusación formal ha sido presentada en contra del señor Corrales.
Charged with battery on a person
Ha sido acusado de lesiones sobre una persona
over 65 years of age.
mayor de 65 años de edad.
Yeah, that's me.
You
Not
know
me.
Ada?
That's me.
You're Ada Santiago?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking on the second page here. Sign is sworn to by Michelle Banda, State Attorney's Office, June
Firmado por
22nd.
Bambi, firmado en la fiscalía.
Any issues by the defense?
¿Alguna cosa por la defensa?
Ma'am,
Señora,
today,
hoy
Mr. Roman Corrales
señor
will
Román
remain in
Corrales va a
custody
quedar detenido
with the same bond he had
con la
before.
misma fianza que él tenía anteriormente.
I'm not going to release him today
No voy a soltarlo hoy
due to the fact that the
debido al
prosecution
hecho que
has brought forth a formal
la
charge
fiscalía ha
against him.
presentado un cargo formal en contra de él.
He probably will have a court date coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks,
Quizás
all
en las
right?
próximas 2 o 3 semanas va a tener una fecha de audiencia en el tribunal.
Not in this courtroom, in another
No
courtroom.
en esta sala, en otra sala.
Una que creo que le dije que mi hermano no es violento. Mi hermano no es violento. Mi hermano nunca ha tenido caso.
That my brother, I wanted to tell him that my brother is not violent. My brother has never had any cases.
Él vivió toda la vida con mi mamá y conmigo.
He lived all his life with my mother and with myself.
Él tenía problemas de nervios desde muy joven.
What he had was when he was very young, he had nervous problems.
Pero él no es una persona violenta.
But he's not a violent person.
Lo que pasó fue que yo tuve un poquito problema con él.
What happened was I had a little bit of a problem with him.
Y entonces yo le dije que fuera para afuera. Entonces cuando él pasó para la cocina así para irse, tropezó conmigo y yo me caí.
And the thing is, when I told him to go outside, and when he was going outside, he passed by me, he tripped over me, and I fell down.
Okay, ma'am,
Señora,
I appreciate you telling me that today.
aprecio que usted me esté diciendo eso hoy.
And when he goes to
Y
court in
cuando
the
él vaya
next
al
couple
tribunal,
of weeks,
ante otro juez en las
I
próximas
don't know the
semanas,
court date yet,
no sé la fecha todavía.
but you can tell the judge,
Le
the
puedo
next
decir
judge,
al
what you
juez,
told
el
me.
próximo juez, lo que usted me dijo, lo que usted me dijo ahora, se lo puedo decir al próximo juez.
Okay?
¿Está?
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Entonces él está cogiendo mucho medicamento, pues él tiene problemas de diabetes. Él coge pastillas de por vida del corazón.
And he's taking a lot of medicine, a lot of pills, because he has problems with diabetes, he has heart problems.
Okay.
Y era para próstata.
And for prostate.
Yes.
Pero él es una persona bien tranquila.
But he's a very tranquil person.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias.
Take care. I think that's wrapped. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We're wrapped from 2:35. We'll see everyone back here tomorrow morning at 8:30 sharp. Thank you.